159 yards for Dez Bryant, a first-half career high. And Darrell, you mentioned it earlier, only 5 receptions the last 2 weeks in the 2 losses to Washington and Arizona.
And it's been a number of different ways they've helped Dez Bryant with releases, with motion and bunch and stacks. But then you just saw in that last play that you can just line him up on the outside one-on-one, and what a physical release from the line of scrimmage to win right away on that route.
Ryan Davis returned the short kick. 16 seconds on the clock. Bryant with 7 receptions, 2 touchdowns, both in the second quarter. A 35-yard touchdown pass and then a 68.
How about him?
The Dallas Cowboys have extended to a 17-point lead.
Earlier in the week, he said he felt good. He didn't know what it was. He didn't know if it was the air over here in London or what, but he felt like he had a ton of energy. He showed he wasn't making up a story.
Codman on the carry. Well, Dez Bryant celebrated a birthday here in London. Turned 26 years of age on Tuesday. And he celebrates by scoring 2 touchdowns in the first half here at Wembley. To Los Angeles for the Visa halftime report. Kurt, take it away.
Going down today. Oh, man.
Inside the 10, the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown. And Dez Bryant is a first down and more. Still going. Touchdown. (24-7) lead for the Dallas Cowboys as we get set for the start of the third quarter here at Wembley. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. A lot of excitement for Dez Bryant in the first half, 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenny Albert, Darrell Johnston, we welcome you up to the broadcast gantry, as they say here in London. And for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Darrell, they scored a touchdown on their opening drive, but trailed by 17. They will get the ball first.
Very impressive opening drive, and one of the reasons why Tony Romo wanted to be the starter today, the sense of urgency, how important this game was, how well Jacksonville had been playing over their last 3 games, but they followed that up with the mistakes that a young team will commit, and it's penalties and turnovers. A great opportunity at the end of that half to kind of get some momentum going in. They get the takeaway from Dallas when Dallas is pressing down the field to score, and they can't get anything going, and all of a sudden they give up the explosive play to Dez Bryant for that touchdown late.
Jaguars, a young team, as we mentioned, youngest average age in the entire National Football League. Second-year head coach Gus Bradley. Tony Romo with his 34th career touchdown of 50-plus. Bryant, a couple of touchdowns, 158 receiving yards. And the Jaguars with that good opening drive. It's the NFL International Series, 3rd of 3 games this year. 11th regular season game in London. Jaguars will start from their 20-yard line, trailing by 17. Jaguars are the home team. It's the second of a 4-year commitment. They lost to the 49ers here last season. Will host the Buffalo Bills Week 7 next year.
And you know, it's made a big impact with the American football fans over here in the UK. The Union Jacks, the local fan club here, their membership has gone from 20,000 to 35,000 since that 4-game commitment was announced.
Gotta love that, the Union Jacks, J-A-X.
Gotta love that. And they're one of those teams that I'm sure a lot of fans over here in the UK didn't know much about, but you make that commitment. They've risen from number 30 to number 9 in popularity here. And speaking of number 9, Tony Romo eliminating all doubts about whether he should have played this afternoon in this game, and Dez Bryant just absolutely took the game over there in the first half on the outside.
On second down and 11. Catch is made and taken out to the 29-yard line by Ace Sanders. His first catch today, a gain of 10.
And when you're a young team trying to find your way, you make these mistakes, you dig yourselves into a hole. But Gus Bradley, very proud of how his team responded last week against Cincinnati when they fell behind 19-3. Got it all the way back to 26-23 in the fourth quarter, but couldn't finish that one out. We'll see if they can have that same type of performance here in the second half against the Cowboys.
On 3rd and 1, first carry today for the ex-Viking, Toby Gerhart. And Gerhart has the Jaguars first down.
Well, guys, I got a chance to talk to Gus Bradley, and he challenged his players there at halftime.
We'll go back and take a look at some of these mistakes in the first half. Ace Sanders with the fumble on the punt, recovered by Dallas there. Denard Robinson puts it on the ground. Big scrum at the bottom of that pile, but Dallas came away with that turnover as well. And Gus Bradley's guys continue to make critical mistakes.
New set of downs for the Jaguars from the 31. Bortles' pass is short. It was tipped, intended for Marquise Lee.
Guys, at halftime, I got a chance to talk to both coaches. Jason Garrett, he couldn't believe that they're going to go and cover Des Bryant man-to-man. He says as long as they're going to do that, Tony Romo's going to go and look for him downfield. He's too big of an asset for us, and I can't believe that they're actually doing that. Also, I asked him how long would Tony Romo stay in. He says as long as we need him, he's got to come back out here in the second half and prove to us that he can go and get this team going once again. They want to keep putting a lot of pressure on Bortles, which they've been doing defensively, and he congratulated the offensive line in the first half of doing a great job of giving Tony Romo plenty of protection and plenty of confidence to go and bring this team to where they are right now.
All right, thanks very much, Goose. First reception today for Allen Hurns, the rookie out of Miami, out to the 40-yard line. So once again, it will be 3rd down and 1.
Very similar to that opening drive we saw in the first half, staying in these manageable down and distances, getting some nice rhythm going for the Jaguar offense.
Green 80.
Gerhart in the backfield once again. Off the fake to Gerhart. Bortles throws, and the catch is made for a first down, taking it out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 8 is Hurns. So the Jaguars again able to move the chains. Offensive coordinator Jed Fish, who worked with Gus Bradley in Seattle under Pete Carroll.
Green 80. Green inside.
From the 48, that pass is high. Bortles looking for Allen Robinson.
Talked about the start for the Jaguars with that opening drive, and you can see what has happened to them during the course of the season. Down a little bit today in that fourth quarter, but look what's happened to him second to fourth quarter throughout the beginning of this season. Minus 111 points.
That's one win over the Cleveland Browns. Jaguars started the season 0-6. Into Cowboys territory, Denard Robinson for the Dallas 47. Anthony Spencer made the tackle, gain of 5. Third down and 5. 9th play of the drive. Jaguars have already converted twice on 3rd down on this drive. They must get to the Dallas 42. And they will not, as the pass from Bortles bounces away from Cecil Shorts.
The Cowboys show blitz in the front, pre-snap, and then back out of it. Going to force Blake Bortles to find the open man in the zone. A little bit on the back shoulder of Cecil Shorts, but you got to make that catch.
Brian Anger out to punt for the 5th time. Wayne Harris back deep for the Cowboys. Fair catch called for by Harris at the 13. Cowboys by 17 here in London.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By KFC, the world's best chicken. How do you KFC? By Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online. And by the new Samsung Galaxy S5. The next big thing is here.
Approaching 8 in the evening here in London. We welcome you back to Wembley. We're starting field position of the day for the Cowboys from their own 13. As DeMarco Murray is bottled up on first down by Dakota Watson.
Take a look at the offensive leaders for the Dallas Cowboys. No signs of that back bothering Tony Romo in the first half, but really the big key is the play of Dez Bryant on the outside, and I was surprised as well to see Jacksonville play one-on-one against Dez Bryant in certain situations in that first half with those two young corners.
Here it is again, Darryl, on the outside to the right.
Matched up with Wayne Bronx. Man-to-man coverage again. Romo on second down. It's gathered in by Murray. And Murray is able to take it out to the 19-yard line, setting up third down and 4.
As a young team, you're always looking for somebody to step forward as a leader. Somebody on the defense needs to make a play. This is the unit that actually has a little bit more experience on it. You look at some of those guys up in the front of the defensive line, Red Bryant, Chris Clemens, somebody familiar with this defense, Gus Bradley style, needs to make a play here early in the second half defensively.
Bryant, Clemens, both coming over from the Super Bowl champion Seahawks during the offseason. Third down and 4. Romo steps up and throws wide open for a first down as the tight end, Gavin Escobar, only his 8th catch of the season. He gains 14.
In that situation, you think Gavin Escobar might be the guy staying in to block, but they've got him spread out wide. It's actually Jason Witten who stays in to block, number 82. It's some of those complementary offensive players that Jacksonville is going to have to deal with. We talked about the dominance of Dez Bryant, but a lot of playmakers throughout the formation for the Cowboys that the Jaguars have to contend with.
From the 33 on first down, it's Murray. And DeMarco Murray is out to the 39-yard line. He gains 6. Now has 78 on the day.
He makes runs where there doesn't seem to be much there, and all of a sudden you look up and you've got a great down and distance situation, 2nd and 4. The whole playbook opens up. And we talked about Jacksonville's defense forcing DeMarco Murray to, put your foot in the ground and change direction. He likes to get downhill, and he showed you right there, I can even do that. I can put my foot in the ground. I can make another cut and get down the field for positive yards.
Second down and 4 from the 39. It's Murray again. Murray has a first down and more across midfield. DeMarco Murray to the Jaguars' 40 as he gains 21.
And here's just another version in this running game. You see zone, you see zone, you see zone, and now all of a sudden, here come the Dallas Cowboys, and it's Zach Martin and Ronald Leary pulling around to the outside, and DeMarco Murray, the leader in the NFL with explosive runs, adding a couple more here this afternoon.
Murray now with 99 yards on the day.
That's a look we don't see very often. All the turf fields back in the States, Darryl. Little grass in the helmet.
And now a big hole opens up for Joseph Randle. Randle still going. He dives. Touchdown. "40 yards, Randle into the end zone."
There's just a great chemistry with Dallas's offensive line. And with Ronald Leary and Doug Free back in the lineup, he never changes his path. He never has to break stride. It's just a straight line. It's a tremendous job by that offensive line and the chemistry. I mean, he's 15, 18 yards into the secondary before he has to change direction.
How about Terrence Williams downfield making a block? Everybody's getting involved on this offense for the Dallas Cowboys.
Longest career run for Randle, his first touchdown this season. Last 3 Cowboys scores have been 35 yards or longer. Bryant twice, now Randle. Bailey, the extra point. Tony Romo celebrates. His Cowboys now lead 31-7. Well, back in the Prince Charles visited Dallas, brought back for his son, Prince William, a Cowboys t-shirt.
Maybe that was the beginning of getting this excitement for the Dallas Cowboys here in the UK. There's Jerry Jones, center of your screen. Charlotte to his right. Steven to his left. Steven, it's not a nail biter.
No.
It's not a nail biter right now.
Not nail biting time. Up by 24. First regular season game outside the United States for America's team. You can refer to tonight's game as America's team versus London's team. Second of 4 straight years here at Wembley for the Jaguars. Top it on the return. There is a flag. Brought down at the 13-yard line by C.J. Spillman.
It's going to end up in tough starting field position if it goes against the Jaguars.
During the return, holding, return team, number 56. Half the distance to the goal, 1st and 10.
So this will be the worst starting field position for Bortles and the Jaguars. Cowboys by 24.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Cialis.
31-7 lead for the Cowboys. We spoke with Gus Bradley yesterday. He said, we're building it young. We know we will have growing pains. Well, some more growing pains for the Jaguars here tonight.
Yeah, and this could be a little bit surprising. I expected a better performance from the Jacksonville Jaguars this evening here in London. And again, you're kind of revisiting that same issue that has been their problem all season long. The critical mistakes, critical turnovers that stops their momentum and puts them in tough positions like this drive starting right here.
Jaguars start from their 7. On first down, this is Shorts. Shorts out to the 16-yard line, gain of 9.
But I was very impressed with Gus Bradley and his plan for moving forward. It'll be interesting to see what he does with the team as they get back. He really says that he was validated in his approach last season. They were 0-8. They went back to Jacksonville. A lot of the players expected a very, very difficult week and not a lot of time off, even in their bye. And Gus Bradley rewarded them. Gave him 1 day of practice, gave him the long weekend to get away from it. Let's refocus. The team came back and rewarded him with a 4-4 finish down the stretch. And he's as positive as a guy you're ever going to be around. You can see him on the sideline right now. He wants to build this the right way for the long term on a very strong foundation. And ownership is going to allow him to do that. Shad Khan is behind him. They've had a great conversation during the interview process. They both believe the same things, getting better every day, and they understand that it's going to be a tough turnaround for Jacksonville.
Yeah, in the first year also, Darryl, he's got to find out who he has on his team, what his players, how they respond, who's the guys he wants to keep in the locker room, who's the guys he wants to get rid of. So last year was sort of a figure it out on both sides, and then this year you draft some guys, you bring some free agents in, and you start building.
Barry Church left the field for the Cowboys following that last play shaken up. First and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Jaguars. Pass could not be handled by Alan Hearns. And you mentioned that bye week last year. Jaguars starting 0-8. The 8th loss was here at Wembley at the hands of the 49ers. And Jacksonville would go on to win 4 of their next 5 games. There's Church on the Dallas sidelines.
There it is. There it is. I heard it coming. I thought it was a freight train down here on the field, guys. I haven't seen the wave in 10 years.
You take the part, Goose?
I'm trying.
Bortles on 2nd and 10. He swings it out to Denard Robinson. Robinson diving toward the chains. He's about a yard shy. Out of bounds at the 29.
Here I go, Kenny. Oh, getting involved, baby. Getting involved with the fans.
Nothing to wave at right here as we take a look at some of the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive leaders. Been a tough day for him. Cecil Shorts is having a big afternoon today. Up around 30 yards per catch. That's a nice day at the office.
Long of 53. Third down at 1. It's Gerhardt. And he looks to be just short.
It's tough in those third and short situations. I think a lot of times you're going to go with the bigger back, but sometimes it could be the shorter back. Fourth down here, Jacksonville lining up for it.
Going for it on fourth down. Gerhardt again. And a big push by the Cowboys front.
The way the referees are coming in right now, he could be a little bit short. It looked like there was room to run. Pulling your, Anthony Hitchens just left unblocked in the hole. Great job.
Does a nice job of the tackle also, taking his legs totally out of it, wrapping him up and forcing him backwards.
Gerhardt and the Jaguars stopped on fourth down. It will be Cowboys football when we return to Wembley. Big stop by Hitchens. We are back at Wembley. First the wave, and now they are passing the poppy.
Tell you what, these fans here in Wembley, they get involved in this game. They're having a great time.
Well, John Parry, referee, taking a look at the last play. Toby Gerhardt on fourth down.
Well, you're going to get a pull and a wraparound. Not a fan of that in short yardage and goal line type plays because it allows for the linebackers to fill exactly how Anthony Hitchens did. He was unblocked right at the point of attack.
You can challenge the spot with regard to a potential first down.
I think he was pretty close on that one. I think he touched that red line.
You know what? It's going to stay as called, I think, Tony. You can make the argument that he was close, but he had it in the right hand as he got spun. That became the backward hand.
But I think Gus has to challenge this.
Here comes John Parry.
Reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It'll be first and 10 Dallas. Jacksonville is charged with their first team timeout.
You're right, Darryl. You hardly ever see a challenge such as that one overturned.
Yeah, it's so hard to get that clear, definitive picture that is going to make you change that play.
So the Cowboys take over at the Jaguars 29. Off the fake end around to Harris. It's Romo to Jason Witten, who lost the football.
That's something you don't see very often right there. Jason Witten, the ball right in his hands and him dropping it.
Yeah, nice play design to get him open down the sideline. J.T. Thomas, watch him come in right at the very, very end. Good sell by Jason Witten there. And right there, that little flash, you wonder if that just kind of caught his vision a little bit and distracted him.
Are you covering for your buddy?
I tell you, it's about the only thing that Dallas hasn't done well today. Tony Romo missed him on an easy touchdown throw early in the game, and then a big drop right there for Jason on that one.
Yeah, he hit him right in his eyes.
Here's DeMarco Murray. And he will stay at 99 yards for the moment. Chris Clemens, the tackle.
Can't say enough about this offensive line. Picture right there. These guys have really, been challenged. They had to go a little bit extra today against the Jacksonville team that was, number 3 in the league with sacks. That they wanted to bring pressure on Tony Romo, but they stoned him. And they just gave Tony Romo all the time in the world back there to go and find his receivers. And you can see the scoreboard in the left-hand corner there. That's what happens.
Third down and 11. Play clock winding down. Romo steps up, fires for Terrence Williams, and it's broken up. Williams in the end zone, and it was Grotz on the coverage. Cowboys will punt it away.
Just a little bit underthrown by Tony Romo right there because Dwayne Grotz is beat, and all he has to do is get that out towards the back of the end zone, and Terrence Williams is going to have a big play for a touchdown.
A little pass interference right there they got away with. Never got his head back around.
So Dan Bailey, who hit a 54-yard field goal earlier, which matched an NFL record here at Wembley. This a 48-yard attempt. And Bailey's kick is short. So with just over 4 minutes remaining here in London, Cowboys lead remains 24. Back at Wembley, it's the 11th game played here, dating back to 2007. Giants and the Dolphins. One game in 2008, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then 2 games last season and 3 this year.
And 3 scheduled again next year with back-to-back games. I'm interested to see what the response is by the fans here in the UK. And as this spreads, we've got a lot of people traveling in here from around Europe to take part in the weekends where American football is played at Wembley.
Lions with the big comeback. Went over the Falcons here 2 weeks ago. Jaguars in London for the 2nd straight year. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line as Bortles is brought down by Anthony Spencer. Not a sack. He gained a yard on 1st down. So 3 more games here at Wembley. It was announced just a couple of days ago. Jets and Dolphins week 4. Then the back-to-back games. Bills, Jaguars, followed by Lions and Chiefs. Darryl, you played here in a preseason game with the Cowboys back in '93.
The old Wembley Stadium.
And that was the second of 2 preseason games the Cowboys played here in London. Pass broken up, intended for Hearns. And you guys faced the Detroit Lions that day. There is a flag as Hearns remains down.
Number 88 coming out of the slot. Anthony Hitchens coming in from the opposite side. You see what the flag was thrown on the other field. Personal
foul, defense, number 59. Contact to a defenseless player, 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10 Jacksonville.
So the Jaguars medical staff checking on Hearns as we head to Los Angeles for a game break with Kurt.
All right, you mentioned the Lions and Dolphins playing in London next year. They're facing each other today. Matt Prater's 42-yard field goal attempt blocked. Deion Jordan takes it back to the 3-yard line. And on the next play, Mike Wallace scores. And Miami has a 13-10 lead in the 4th. In the battle of 2 teams, riding 3-game win streaks right now. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. So more problems on field goals for the Lions. Prater hit the game winner here at Wembley 2 weeks ago. Hearns, the injured Jaguar.
Good news to see Alan Hearns on his feet. Jaguar training staff and medical team still assessing the situation on the field. And coming out of the slot. You're going to run that in route. You're going to get your linebacker coming from the inside out position. And it happens such a bang-bang play. You heard hit on the defenseless player. And Anthony Hitchens, you know, he's got his shoulder up in that area.
I think he did a good job, Hitchens, of avoiding contact. It was just caught a little piece of that helmet there in the beginning.
I don't think there was an intent to go high and to hurt by Anthony Hitchens at all.
Hearns having a terrific rookie year. There were 34 wide receivers drafted. He was not one of them. Now Bortles steps up and slides down just inside the 45-yard line.
And Dallas is doing a nice job this afternoon. There's been a few opportunities for Blake Bortles to break out of that pocket to try to make something happen with his feet. It was one of the big reasons why they were able to knock off Cleveland. Blake Bortles made some big runs in that game, and Dallas, every time he's tried to get something going, have been able to corral him.
Mike's 59, down! Green 80! Green and shoot!
Second down at 9. From the 45, it's Denard Robinson. Robinson gains a couple to the 43. It's Hitchens on the tackle.
Very impressed with his performance today. Remember, Rolando McClain is out of the lineup this afternoon. He's active today, but has not played at all. And Anthony Hitchens taking advantage of that opportunity in the middle, having another nice afternoon after leading the team in tackles last weekend against Arizona.
Cowboys at the linebacker position, of course, lost Sean Lee prior to the start of the regular season without Justin Durant as well. 3rd down and 7. And down goes Bortles back at midfield.
Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars have struggled a little bit in pass protection. When Dallas has added the extra player, you're going to wiggle in here and then come on the blitz. You're going to drop out. You're looking at those A-gaps. Only one guy comes. You've got twisting linemen. So Rod Marinelli throwing a lot at this offensive line and the running backs in pass protection.
First sack of the season for Brandon Carr. Harris back deep. He will let it bounce, and it takes the Cowboys bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Week 10 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox, then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. One of the major stories all week in the NFL, the status of Tony Romo, who did not play last week against Arizona, but Romo not only has returned, but has thrown 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Des Bryant, and the Cowboys have scored the last 28 points in the game.
Alan Hearns, wide receiver, is being evaluated for a concussion. He's questionable on his return, guys.
All right, thanks, Goose. Cowboys start from the 20. DeMarco Murray with 98 yards on the ground. Here's Murray.
Second down and 10.
Now 2nd down and 10 for the Cowboys with just over 1 minute remaining in the 3rd quarter here at Wembley.
Marco Murray slow getting up, and they're walking back to the huddle now, taking him off, bringing Joseph Randle in.
Randle with the 40-yard touchdown run earlier. We saw Des Bryant go into the locker room moments ago. He has not returned to the field. So Murray to the sidelines. Randle in the backfield with the fullback Tyler Klutz. Escobar in motion, 2nd down and 10. Hand off to Randle. Randle out to the 22-yard line. Roy Miller made the tackle. So first Bryant to the locker room, and now Murray shaken up 2 plays ago.
Yeah, we talked about at the top, Jason Garrett describing his offense. We've got to throw the ball to number 88, and we've got to turn around and hand the ball to number 29. And right now, at this point, both of those guys on the sideline for the Dallas Cowboys.
Lance Dunbar has replaced Randle in the backfield. 3rd down and 8. Cowboys must get to the 30 for a first. Witten slot to the right. Romo on 3rd down. Pump fake. Now moving to his left. Finds his man Dunbar, but he's tackled at the 25. So the Cowboys will punt it away, and Romo slow to get up. As the 3rd quarter comes to an end here in London. All Cowboys, they lead by 24. 31-7 lead for the Cowboys. DeMarco Murray shaken up. A couple of plays back. Des Bryant has returned from the locker room. He's riding the bike.
Yeah, I think if you look at that situation, things look good for Des Bryant. DeMarco Murray went through some concussion evaluation, and here's the other part of this equation is Tony Romo extending this a little bit. He's going to take a hit from Ryan Davis right in that same area where he has the fractures of the transverse process. So That would be your biggest concern for the Dallas Cowboys. Your big three right now, all a little bit banged up on the sideline.
While we're doing injuries, wide receiver Allen Hurns is out, guys. Number 88 for Jacksonville. He'll be out.
Jones will punt it away following the first. Dallas 3 and out today. Sanders back deep. So we start the fourth quarter here in London. End over end kick. Taken out to 32 by Sanders. 11-yard return out to the 43. So it's Jaguars football. But if you're Jason Garrett, Darrell, you have to be thinking about how much longer Tony Romo stays in this game with a 24-point lead.
Well, if it was important to come over here to London and win this game, and so much so that you're going to put Tony Romo into the starting lineup, now it's time to think about what's coming down the road the latter part of the season after this bye week. You've got Dez Bryant on the bike, DeMarco Murray going through concussion protocol, and your quarterback just took a hit in the same spot where he had those fractures of the transverse process. So I think they've accomplished what they set out to do. We actually joked with Tony Romo, would you come out of the game? And he says, well, if it's a big lead in the fourth quarter, say we're up 31-7, you know, I have to think about getting off the field and letting Brandon Weeden get some snaps. So very prophetic in his prediction when we spoke with him on Saturday.
And that was his actual line. He said 31-7. Bortles sacked for the third time. Ball comes loose. And it looks like the center, Luke Bowenko, has recovered.
That Dallas Cowboy defense is just bringing pressure. Exactly what Jason Garrett said at halftime. They want to keep as much pressure on Bortles as possible. And you know what? You guys talking about Tony Romo and how long should keep him in. I think that, you know, after that last hit, I watched him walk over to the sideline. It was very slow. I think it's time to really start considering taking him out.
And how about the London native Jack Crawford coming up with the Cowboys sack? There's Denard Robinson. Crawford, much sought after by the media here in London during the week.
I mean, you come over here to London with the type of players and the notoriety that they have with Dallas, and Jack Crawford becomes one of your more sought after guys, and really enjoyed his week here. And what a great opportunity, because he thought he had missed out on that, you know, being drafted to the Raiders, and the game's coming back and forth here to London, and thought he'd missed out on his opportunity. And then the Dallas Cowboys pick him up, and he finds his way here.
We're down at 13. This is Todman. And Todman is across midfield, but is stopped about a yard shy of the marker. Needed 13, gained 12. So Crawford with the sack. A couple of plays back. He attended City of London School. One of his classmates, Daniel Radcliffe of Harry Potter fame. He said they were friends, haven't spoken in many years. But apparently, Daniel was a big fantasy football player.
Getting his inside information from Mr. Crawford.
They have an eye on tonight's game. Jaguars again going for it on fourth down. Nothing to lose at this point.
Well, as big as Blake Bortles is, if you don't cover up that center, it's a great opportunity for him. He's got to have a little bit better feel for that center coming off that block and keep his feet a little longer, not make that such a difficult spot.
It's tough for these young quarterbacks. They're not used to being up under center, Darrell.
That's right. Although in talking to us about his career in Central Florida, Bortles said, I feel like I had an edge over some of the other guys coming out of college. We actually used signals and called plays. We didn't have to look at pictures on the sideline.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, it's really difficult for some of the guys coming out of the college ranks, coming up to the NFL. We've seen it with E.J. Manuel, Geno Smith, some other younger guys coming out of those systems where the card system is in play as they pass plays out to their offense on the field. And everybody's looking over to get the play call as opposed to the quarterback going through the mechanics in the huddle. He made that a little bit closer than he needed to be. He'll get a better feel for that because Luke Bowenko had to come off and go right to his left to get that block. And, you know, you expect to lean a little bit on your center, and then all of a sudden he's gone. And, boy, he's lucky because it looked like that knee went down, too.
He set it down for the Jaguars, trailing by 24. From the Dallas 47-yard line, Bortles rolling right, being chased by Mincy. Now he throws, and Shorts picks up a first down and more. Cecil Shorts takes it to the Cowboys' 15, a 32-yard pass play, and Shorts is over 100 for the game.
We've talked about Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns throughout the game, but it's Cecil Shorts who's had the big game in the passing game today. Nice job by Blake Bortles extending this play, waiting. He's got two receivers, and Cecil Shorts, shutting that play down, finding that open spot in the zone for his quarterback to find him. 7th
career 100-yard receiving game for Shorts. From the Cowboys' 15. Todman to the 12, and we head to Los Angeles for a game break with Kurt.
Good one going on in New Orleans. San Francisco's led all day, but Drew Brees and the Saints mounted a comeback. He hooks up with Jimmy Graham, and right now it's 21-17 early on in the fourth quarter. Kenny Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Jaguars on the move here in London. 2nd and 7. From the Dallas 12. Jaguars without Allen Hurns. Lost for the remainder of this game. No Jaguar in the vicinity of that throw. Nearly picked off by Sterling Moore. There is a flag at the end of the play.
Marquise Lee really pleading his case.
Pass interference, offense, number 15, blocking downfield prior to the ball being touched on a forward pass. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
One of the plays that we see come into the NFL, the little bubble screens on the outside. There's number 15. We'll see if he's downfield blocking. There's Marquise Lee. Yeah, the ball's not thrown. But then you've got a mix-up with quarterback wide receivers on the outside. They're looking for the bubble screen with Allen Robinson being called on that number 15. And Blake Bortles is throwing the ball down the field. Kind of that one where you're trying to sell that. You're going to fake that bubble screen and then allow Allen Robinson to release and go down the field for the catch.
Officials still huddled up. They have not yet picked up the flag at the 4-yard line.
Well, right away after the flag came down, Marquise Lee went over and was talking to one of the officials, explaining to him his point of view on what the play was designed to do. Don't know if he changed anybody's opinion out there.
Quite a conference here.
Well, it's one of the things that the NFL took a look at, and it's one of the things that we're watching is that contact down the field on these bubble screens on the outside to make sure.
Correction. There is no foul for offensive pass interference. The block took place within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. There is no penalty. Incomplete pass. 3rd down.
I don't know if it was in 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, though.
No, I don't think it was 1 yard at all. So line of scrimmage is right here. Look at your blue line. That's your blue line. So let's see where this contact between Allen Robinson occurs with Sterling Moore. Or it's not Sterling Moore, it's actually Orlando Scandrick coming through. That's 3 yards downfield.
So the flag has been picked up erroneously, as we saw. Now 3rd down and 7. Bortles' pass is caught at the 11-yard line by Shorts.
What a heck of a catch by Cecil Shorts. Not a lot of productivity out of the catch, but a great catch nonetheless.
So it is now 4th down and 6. Gus Bradley again will go forward on 4th down.
Now we got Des Bryant going to the locker room earlier. He went in to get an IV for cramping. That was the reason for him coming off the field, guys.
Thanks, Goose. Jaguars must get to the 5 for a first down. And Bortles' pass is short, looking for Todman. So the Cowboys once again take over on downs. Dallas leading the Jaguars by 24.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by AT&T. Mobilizing your world. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Canon.
Can't come to London without having some fish and chips.
Not wrapped in newspaper. It's not traditional. Where? Kenny?
Blaming me? Well, Tony Romo back out on the field as the Cowboys take over. There's DeMarco Murray, who was dinged earlier, and Des Bryant, who went to the locker room.
So good news, bad news for Cowboy fans. They're all three on the field, but why are they still all three on the field?
Well, here's Murray. Out to the 11. And he hits 100 yards on that run for the 9th time this season. 9th time in 10 games. Emmitt Smith, back in 99, the last Cowboy with at least 9 100-yard rushing games in one season. Who was leading the way for Emmitt that year?
99, not for long.
No, it wasn't Tyler Klutz. Second down to 9. Romo dumps it off. It's Murray. Emmitt's here today, along with Michael Irvin, made the trip.
And we saw Fred Taylor down on the sideline from the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. Great running back for the
Tony
Jags.
Baselli also.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it at the top. You know, how is Dallas going to keep Tony Romo in the pocket, keep him clean, and look at the job the offensive line has done this evening here in London. Very impressive. And again, we'll go back to it. They played their best game of the year against the Seattle Seahawks. This is a very similar defense that Gus Bradley is installing here as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars that he brought from Seattle. So a lot of confidence with this group that they would be successful.
Romo on 3rd and 10, sacked for the first time today.
And there you go, Kenny. As soon as you praise somebody,
you put the numbers up, man. They're going to prove you wrong, guys.
Well, it was going to be hard for them to pitch the shutout the entire time against this front. Senderick Marks continues to work, going against two guys. Tony Romo spins out, and I like the fact that he braced himself, understanding the situation. It's breaking down. You got some big bodies coming in from that Jaguar defense. Been frustrated all afternoon because they haven't had an opportunity to get to the quarterback.
5th sack of the season for Marks. There is a flag on the punt. Flag back in the end zone. Ball comes to a stop at the 36-yard line. We'll check in once again with referee John Parry.
Prior to the kick, holding. Offense. Number 51. Penalty results in a safety.
Holding in the end zone on the punt, Kyle Wilbur, the guilty Cowboy. So the Cowboys' lead is now 31-9.
Well, the second special teams miscue for the Cowboys this afternoon. Chris Kemmons partially blocks a field goal attempt earlier this half. Watch your right guard, 51, as he sets back in protection. Now, this is a return, so Ziggy Hood, Ziggy Hood, number 92, is he's trying to hold up Kyle Wilbur. They're all locked up. To release, he throws him to the ground. That's going to get you a holding penalty every time as a player goes to the ground in that situation. So the hold happened in the end zone, so it's 2 points for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We saw a safety last time we were here in London, 2011, Bears and Buccaneers, and joked about some of the fans not understanding exactly why the points were put up on the board. They're very knowledgeable fans here in London. We've spoken to many of them throughout the week. As the Cowboys and Jaguars play game number 11 here at Wembley since 2007. Just under 8 minutes to play.
Gotta like the udders right there, guys.
Was he trying to say DeMarco Murray's the bell cow?
Those guys are having a good time. Got a cheese set in the background too, Daryl. All the teams being represented. This guy's a...
You don't want to spring the money for the jersey or anything like that. I'm just going to get some paint.
What team is he representing? Shirts and skins. Bortles pass is caught by Marquise Lee. 13-yard pass play to the Dallas 48.
Yeah, and you can see we've talked about Gus Bradley and what he's trying to build in Jacksonville. Great example right there. Him right there on the sideline, up with his players, patting him on the back. Hey, well done, well done. Get back out there. Let's keep rolling here.
I don't know if that was a catch. It looked like that second foot might have went out of bounds, guys.
Waddle's on first down. That's on looking for Allen Robinson, and there is a flag.
Yeah, Sterling Moore is shaking his head, but this is an easy call. He's through the back before the ball gets there.
Pass interference, defense, number 26. Spotted a foul, 1st and 10, Jacksonville.
Again, really sitting on routes this afternoon. We've seen a couple of examples of the Dallas defensive backs really sitting on these routes by the Jaguar receivers.
From the Cowboys 39. Waddle's complete. Another first down. Clay Harbor, gain of 15. We can check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, back here in the States, we're getting ready for America's Game of the Week when you guys were done in London. Most of you will see Russell Wilson and the Seahawks take on the New York Giants. Others would catch the team with the best record in football, Carson Palmer and the Arizona Cardinals against St. Louis. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Kurt. Cardinals, of course, beat the Cowboys last Sunday to go to 7-1. Dallas played their last 3 games at home, losing 2 out of 3. Only team in the NFL with a perfect road record are the Cowboys, with wins at Tennessee, St. Louis, and Seattle. I guess you can call this the ultimate road game this season for the Cowboys.
And what a job Bruce Arians is doing for the Arizona Cardinals.
Green is out.
Waddles fires on. It's picked off by Bruce Conner. There is a flag. 2 flags have been thrown. Big hit by J.J. Wilcox on the return. And Cecil Shorts, the recipient of that hit, remains down.
Now this is going to go into the middle of the field, and Cecil Shorts is going to take a big hit after the interception by Bruce Carter.
Second pick of the year for Carter. Shorts, the injured Jaguar.
After the interception, personal foul.
Today's game is sponsored by the new comedy Horrible Bosses 2 in theaters November 26th.
Welcome back. Brandon Weeden has replaced Tony Romo with just under 7 minutes remaining. And the Cowboys leading 31-9. Weeden started last week's game against Arizona. Went 18 of 33, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Following the interception by Carter, the hit by Wilcox on Shorts, leading to the Cowboys penalty flag.
Yeah, and J.J. Wilcox has just got to be smarter on this play. At 31-9, this is not a big deal. When you're talking about player safety, don't misunderstand me that it's not a big deal to the player's safety on the field, but you got to be smart in that situation and not put yourself in a position to get a penalty.
First and 10 from the 5-yard line. It's Joseph Randall. And we'll check in with Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. Check in with Mike. Your thoughts on that Wilcox hit? All right, we apologize for the audio issue as we come to you thousands of miles away from Mike Pereira. Cowboys traveled close to 5,000 miles, 4,300 miles from Jacksonville to London. Second down and 6. This is Randall once again. Joseph Randall with a 40-yard touchdown run earlier. So it will be 3rd down for the Cowboys. There's Tony Romo. His numbers 20 of 27. 246 yards, 3 touchdowns.
But remember, part of the decision for Tony Romo to commit to playing in this game with that injury was the performance of the offense last week against Arizona which Brandon Whedon was in charge of. And Arizona played it in the way where we're not going to allow you to beat us with DeMarco Murray. We're going to take him away. We're going to stack the box. There were plays to be made on the outside in the passing game, and Brandon Whedon could not take advantage of those. So this is an opportunity for him here to get some confidence in the staff back in Brandon Whedon to be the guy that can go out on that field in certain situations
Timeout,
and
Dallas.
run this
First.
offense in a way to produce a
30
victory.
seconds.
Cowboys use a timeout. Whedon, the former first-round draft pick of the Cleveland Browns back in 2012. He started 20 games over 2 seasons with the Browns. What a day for Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo.
We saw no indication whatsoever of the injury having an effect on his ability to play the quarterback spot. And when you got a guy like Des Bryant out there just taking over the game on the outside, that sure does help you out quite a bit. But you know, his mobility looked good. He had some off-balance throws, and he played smart. He threw the ball away, didn't take a lot of hits, took a couple, but his offensive line did a nice job keeping him upright the majority of the afternoon.
3 touchdown passes today, extending his NFL record on the road with a touchdown pass in 37 straight road games. He also has a touchdown pass in 37 straight games overall, no matter where they've been played, and that's the 5th longest streak in NFL history.
Jason,
Well start. Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's on Witten. Romo had been tied with his idol, Brett Favre. Tony grew up in Wisconsin. They were tied with a touchdown pass in 36 consecutive games, tied for 5th overall, but Romo now 1 ahead of Favre. He has told us in the past as a 12-year-old I would watch Brett Favre, but that's why I started playing quarterback.
Well, you can see a little bit of Favre in his style of playing the quarterback position with Tony Romo, extending the plays, you know, the off-balance throws.
3rd down and 8. Whedon from the end zone throws. Catch is made at the 15-yard line by Witten. And he looks to have the first down. And then we spoke to Blake Bortles yesterday and asked him who his favorite quarterback to watch was. Brett Favre.
What is it? How many years can we cover where you could be a fan of Favre? I mean, gosh, how many young guys out there have been influenced by the way that Brett Favre played the quarterback position and that unbelievable career that he had?
I don't think there was a quarterback out there that had more fun than Brett Favre did. I mean, he was always smiling, always happy, running around, making things happen. He was an exciting player to watch.
And Goose, you once told us the story. You were lined up against Favre, playing against Green Bay.
Hey, Rico.
We started making fun of how big your head was in your helmet.
Yeah,
right before calling signals.
Yeah, and the cadence. He would go, blue 26, Goose got a big head, blue 26. It was sort of very entertaining. But they wound up beating us anyway. Because Kenny didn't turn out to be a good day for us.
That's why maybe the hat you're wearing today is not quite fitted properly. Is it?
No, this is perfectly
well?
fitted. I don't know.
Fitting well?
Can you see that here? Look, that's a sized 6.5 because I have a very tiny head. But
did they erase the 1 in front of the 6?
No, they might have. I think they fudged the numbers a little bit. But Sky Sports, I want to thank them because they gave this to me last time we did a game here in London, and I brought it back. And I want to thank everybody at Sky Sports for going and getting me a little momentum that every time I come to London, I will be wearing. So I feel like I fit in here in the crowd.
And we thank our entire crew. Guys came over early in the week. Some challenges in setting up in a stadium that is only used for NFL games now 3 times a year. NFL started playing regular season games here at Wembley in 2007. Giants played in the first game against the Dolphins. They went on to win the Super Bowl. 4 other teams have reached the postseason after playing in London during the regular season, including the Patriots and 49ers reaching the conference championship game the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think one of the concerns about having the series as they were trying to work out things logistically was what would be the impact on the travel to and from London later in the season. As you can see right there, it has not had a negative effect on the teams that have had the opportunity to come over here and showcase their skills in the UK.
Both teams came early in the week. The Jaguars flew right from Cincinnati after their game last week. Cowboys coming over on Monday. 3rd down and 7. There's Randall Randall stopped at the 23. 3.5 to play. Great job by our entire crew, led by producer Barry Landis, director Brian Lilly, our associate director Joe Williams, broadcast associate Paul Marmero, technical producers Sid Drexler and Dave Hill, technical director Gabe Bell, statisticians Rick Camps, Jason Thornberry, and Dave Corris, and our spotter Ben Bowman. 31-9 lead for the Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphia Eagles leapfrogged the Cowboys into first place in the NFC East last weekend. Eagles at 6-2. Cowboys coming into this game 6-3. Philadelphia will host Carolina tomorrow night.
You forgot Nick Gagliano, my sideline producer, Kenny. He's very upset with you that you didn't mention him.
Nick's first trip to London. He's had a blast.
Exciting.
So the Cowboys will raise their record to 7-3 by next week. And then Dallas will play 4 of their last 6 games against division opponents, including 2 with the Eagles.
2 in 3 weeks, Kenny.
And for the Jaguars, following their bye, they will travel to Indianapolis and then host the Giants. Sanders to the 47. The final 3:20 from Wembley when we return. It has certainly been an enjoyable week for our crew, Buckingham Palace.
Abbey Road.
Which one's McCartney?
Well, he was supposed to take his shoes off. I don't know. He refused. He said it was a little chilly.
Aiden leaving the shoes on as he crossed Abbey Road by the Abbey Road Studios. Bortles wrapped up. Down he goes. Back at the 40-yard line. 4th sack of the day for the Cowboys, Cameron Lawrence.
That's one of the areas that the Dallas defense did a nice job today, and compliments to Rod Marinelli putting the game plan together. Really challenged the Jacksonville Jaguar pass protection with a nice blitz package.
That pass deflected and then caught by Todman. On the deflection by Keith Smith. Cowboys only 12 sacks coming into the game. They have 4 today. Smith getting a hand on it. Todman says, look what I found. And for the Jaguars, Darryl, you add injury to insult, losing the game. And they've lost 2 of their top 3 wide receivers to injury, Alan Hearns, and then Cecil Shorts on the hit from J.J. Wilcox.
380. 3 and it's out.
Third down at 13. Bortles being chased once again. Now he throws and it's incomplete. He was looking for Allen Robinson.
Well, you know, Gus Bradley is in a fortunate position because he has the support of ownership. Shed Khan understands they had a really good connection during the interview process, and when he spoke to Shed Khan about we must improve every day, he's already spoken to Gus Bradley during the course of a tough opening year, and then again this season at 1-8 about I see the improvement, I see the team getting better, and you're going to have these growing pains as you're going through this process, but I think he's in a good position. I think he is going to build this on a really strong foundation. When you sit down and you talk with Gus Bradley, it's a very unique approach. It's something that I would have loved to have been involved in.
Penalty marker on 4th down as the catch is made by the tight end Nick Jacobs, rookie out of McNeese State.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 53. Penalties decline. Result of the play, 1st down.
Game break, Joel Clanton.
All right, Kenny, to New Orleans, and the Saints down by 4. Breeze finds Jimmy Graham. They're up 3, a minute 39. 49ers with the ball, facing a 3rd and 10. Back to London, Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
Thanks, Joel. Those teams have had great battles. You think back to the playoff game 3 seasons ago. 4 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes as the catch is made by Allen Robinson. That's one of Bortles' best throws of the game.
It really was. Really nice touch on that throw. We've seen the velocity that he can get in the ball on a couple of these shorter routes, but here's an example of the touch, just dropping it right over the top to Allen Robinson.
31-yard completion. Robinson's 5th catch today. First and 10 from the Cowboys 12. Empty backfield with 2:25 remaining. Penalty flag. 2 flags. Finding his way to the 10-yard line is Ace Sanders.
Two fouls in the play, both on the defense. Offside, defense, number 93. Penalties decline. Holding, defense, number 37. 5-yard penalty, first down.
C.J. Spillman, number 37, working against Nick Jacobs. That's an easy call for the officials on the field.
Now 1st and goal from the 7 following the penalty. Bortles steps up, now throws to the end zone. There's a flag. It's picked off. 3 flags are thrown. 3 penalty markers as this is taken into Jaguars territory by Spillman. And he's tackled at the 32. Chased down by Zane Beadles.
Great hustle by Zane Beadles in that situation. One of your big linemen running that down.
Pass interference, defense, number 38. First down at the spot of the foul. Jackson will get the ball back.
So it's Jeff Heath, the guilty Cowboy.
What stinks about that for the big guys, they had to run all the way down the field. Now they got to go all the way back.
That's right.
They did almost 110 yards on that one. Now they got to go right back and play the next snap.
So Heath called for the penalty. The ball actually deflected off his back. Penalty negates a 72-yard return by Spillman. It will be 1st and goal from the Cowboys 1. With 2:03 on the clock.
Green 80! Green is on!
Toby Gerhart. Oh, and he's wrapped up by Keith Smith. As we hit the 2-minute warning here in London. Smith coming up to make the play for the Cowboys, who lead by 22. Terrific week here in London. 3rd and final NFL game at Wembley this season. Dallas Cowboys lead the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-9 following the 2-minute warning. Bortles handing it off to Denard Robinson, and Robinson is in his 2nd touchdown today.
Yeah, they have gone inside with Toby Gerhart on a couple of occasions here in short yardage and goal line, and it hasn't worked. And been waiting for that play call. Get Denard Robinson on the edge and allow him to use his athleticism to find his way into the end zone or find his way to convert that first down.
Jaguars will go for 2 and try and make it a 14-point deficit. Jacksonville 0 for 1 this season. There's Bortles, 2-point conversion. And the catch is made by Allen Robinson. So the Jaguars will do it in 14.
We've seen him trying to bang it inside in between the tackles with little success this afternoon. So let's get out here. Let's get on the edge. Let's let our athletic running back try and find his way into the end zone. Good job by the offensive line and the receivers on the outside. And then Allen Robinson, nice catch. Nice throw by Blake Bortles for the 2-point conversion.
So the Jaguars with 10 points. There in the fourth quarter. A safety, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Coming into this weekend, there have been 4 successful onside kicks this season. 3 of the 4 by the Colts. Jaguars have the other. So Scobie will set it up. 4 of 13 in his career. Scobie grew up in Texas, big Cowboys fan as a youngster.
Here's your designated catcher right here. Everybody else is going to clear the way, keep Jason Witten safe on the onside kick.
Here it comes. You called it. Jason Witten. So the Dallas Cowboys with 1:51 remaining will be able to run out the clock. Jaguars are out of timeouts.
I was always the guy on the front line, Kenny. I was in front of Jay Novacek. I was a designated blocker on the onside kick. It's not a whole lot of fun.
At least you're on the hands team, Darryl. I never really got on that one.
Not for hands, though. I don't think I qualified because of hands.
So Jason Garrett's Dallas Cowboys will raise their record to 7-3 following back-to-back defeats. Jaguars will drop to 1-9 as Brandon Wheaton takes a knee. America's Game of the Week coming up. Many of you will see the Seahawks and the Giants. Others, the Cardinals and the Rams. Big day for Tony Romo and his return after missing the game last week. Threw for 3 touchdowns, including 2 in the second quarter to Dez Bryant.
You think the Rams can take down Seattle, San Francisco, and Arizona in consecutive weeks?
Wow. What a job Jeff Fisher's club has done in the previous 2 seasons under Fisher. They play their best football against their division rivals, especially defensively. Time winding down here in London. Season-high passer rating for Tony Romo. DeMarco Murray with his 9th 100-yard day this season in 10 games. Dez Bryant, 158 yards, second highest total of his career. A couple of touchdown receptions and the first career 2-touchdown game for Denard Robinson of the Jaguars.
This is one of those specialty situations that the UK fans really haven't grown to appreciate yet, Kenny.
Taking a knee.
Taking a knee, victory formation. No, we want to see more football.
They love the punts, they love the kicks. And here tonight, they have watched the Dallas Cowboys put an end to their 2-game losing streak. They had never lost 3 in a row under Jason Garrett. Garrett and Bradley come together. Their teams have spent the entire last week here in London. Dez Bryant, 2 second-quarter touchdown receptions. Big question all week, would Tony Romo play? Well, not only did he play, but he excelled. To New Orleans, Kevin Burkhardt, John Lynch, Pam Oliver,